Hey everyone, how's it going today? I'm just going to talk about one of the secret meanings of a fairy tale that we all know and are familiar with, Hansel and Gretel. Of course, it's not the only meaning behind the story, but one possible meaning. So, the story, as we know, goes like this. There's a boy and a girl. They have a stepmother who they really don't like, and she wants to kick them out of the house. So she sends them into the dark, scary woods. And they do attempt a couple times to leave a trail back to home, but the last time they try that, it doesn't work out. I think they try it with some breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs get eaten, and they end up in the woods, and they find their way to this gingerbread house, this candy house, and they start eating the house, and a witch comes out, and she's really upset about them eating the house, but she invites them in, and she feeds them all this good food and puts them to bed. Then when they wake up, they find that she's put them in a cage, and she's going to eat them. So they come up with a trick. Now, the witch is blind. She can't see so well. So the boy comes up with this idea. Hansel, he comes up with this idea to hold out a chicken bone that she can feel whenever she comes around to see if they're plumping up to eat. And that fools her, so she keeps on not wanting to cook them because she keeps on thinking that they're too skinny. So finally, she gets impatient, and she decides that she's just going to throw them in the oven anyway. That's when Gretel comes up with the idea to pretend like they don't know how to climb in the oven. Can the witch show them how to climb in the oven? So the witch starts to show them, and they push her in. They burn the witch to death, presumably, and then they come out of the gingerbread forest, and they make their way. They're able to find their way back home. When they get home, the stepmother has died, and the only one left is their father, who they do like. And so it's just sort of a happily ever after ending as usual. So I want to look at one particular point of this fairy tale, and that is, if you notice in the story, there's two characters that die: the stepmother and the wicked, presumably wicked witch who wants to eat them. And that is because I believe that the witch represents the stepmother in the minds of the children, and that the journey into the forest is actually their journey into their fears and concerns. If you think about it, a forest is like a dark, scary kind of place, and at the center of everything they are afraid of is their stepmother, who in this imaginative recasting is the witch. So they're able to trick her. How are they able to do that and overcome their fears and leave and find a happy ending? A happy ending that's achieved through defeating proverbial fear, so to speak. They're able to do that because they are psychically whole. And what do I mean by that? Hansel and Gretel, a boy and a girl, twins, is a platonic pairing of male and female opposites that sort of symbolizes a wholeness. You look in a lot of fairy tales and you'll see that there is a boy and a girl, a set of twins that are the main characters. And Hansel's the one who comes up with the idea to hold out the chicken bone, and Gretel is the one who comes up with the idea to push the witch in the oven. So they work together in tandem to defeat the witch, and that's the idea of our in Jungian terms, the various components of our personality in synergy and sync working together to defeat our fears. So we have to be a whole person on the inside, a healed person, a complete person, in order to defeat what looms large in our life and is scary to us. And then we can emerge back into the real world and everything's better. So that's just one interpretation. Of course, there's many other ways to look at the tale. But I wanted to share that with you today. If this kind of thing interests you, please check out my book on Amazon, Business Lessons I Learned from Fairy Tales by Charles Hanna. I have some other books on there as well, and we'll continue to write, hopefully, more books that interpret the meaning of fairy tales, folklore, mythology, that kind of thing. So please check it out. Business Lessons I Learned from Fairy Tales by Charles Hanna. Follow me on this YouTube channel. Stay tuned. I'll be putting out more videos with explanations about the inner meaning and significance of fairy tales. Thank you so much. Have a good day.